So to the last day of the Flemington Spring Carnival, and it was the feature race of the day, the EMIRATES Handicap, a time-honoured race over a mile. Generally produces a good horse or two, and it's a race that an up-and-comer can really target and come away with a nice race. And it was all silent. You know, continuing on with the trend of Sydney horses dominating the Flemington Carnival for Graham Begg, his third winner from 3 starters over the Carnival, showed that he can certainly do wonders with a good horse if given the opportunity. Arvo, your take on the race?
Yeah, look, I've got a soft spot in my heart for All Silent, being a half brother to Private Steer, and yeah, look, it was a wonderful win. I thought that, look, these horses have been basically butting heads, most of these horses all spring, running against each other in all the 1400 metre or mile races and taking their turns, with probably Sea Battle emerging as more the dominant, most consistent of these milers going around. However, I've sort of thought all along that they were B graders, honestly. And All Silent just proved yesterday to me that he is a cut above these. He was given a wonderful run in transit by Dwayne Dunn, and when the split came around the 300 metre mark, he didn't just, you know, plug away and won. He just took the gap, accelerated, wonderful turn of foot, and won comfortably. Geez, I don't know how good this horse can be, or if he could be as good as Private Steer, but he's certainly going the right way. He's only had 11 starts now for 5 wins. It was his first Group 1 win, but he's lightly raced and he's a late maturing horse. And 3 weeks ago I spoke to Graham Begg about this horse, and I hadn't seen him for a while. And I asked him whether he'd gone for a spell or what he was doing with the horse. I thought,
he cost me money.
Well, you guys remember this? You guys remember
our
this?
intelligent mate over here said All Silent for that 1400 metre race, whatever it was, and I thought, yep, you're right. Then we get this email from this bloke saying he's spoken to Begg and apparently it's going to be a hit out because the horse will need.
Oh no! Wait! You're putting racing
so then I said,
right,
there goes the money back in the wallet, put it away. Back sniper's bullet. What happens? It gets up and beats me.
Oh, did you back it yesterday?
Yeah, no, I lost all my money in Cup Day. I didn't have
okay. That's right. You're still licking your wounds. but in any case, All Silent. There was a big difference between his performance on Cup Day and yesterday.
It was one of your black bookers, wasn't it?
Well, we've loved the horse all along.
It was one of your black bookers.
No, I didn't actually black book him.
You didn't?
No. But I tipped him on your website yesterday. I tipped him on Whipsarecracking, and I actually tipped the exacta, which paid $45, by the way.
There's nothing wrong with his win on Cup Day. It was a great win.
It was a terrific win, but if you notice, there was not too much urgency about the rise that day. And when the run came, he took it. But he was never going to be, you know, knocked around too much. But his performance yesterday was outstanding. To me, in the autumn, he's a Queen Elizabeth sort of horse, a Doncaster Queen Elizabeth horse, and in the spring, he'll certainly be a Cox Plate horse, because the breed will run 2,000 metres. That no doubt in the world at all. So that's
you should get to the Cox Plate too. They only leave one horse at Beggs, so you should make it there.
Let's hope so. So All Silent is the only horse for me to follow going into the future that's going to come out of this race. Out of the rest, rubbish.
Suman.
Yes.
Your take, mate.
Wake up, Simon.
Completely dominant victory yesterday by an exceptionally talented horse. I was reading today that the horse, early doors, went to Hong Kong and
couldn't race,
couldn't race over there.
He was lying down. He wouldn't get up.
It was no good.
He just kept lying
I'm
down
not
for
having
18 months. Do
you know who I am? So they sent him back to Australia.
Well, that Asian food has that effect on me too.
Well, he didn't like it, and they sent him back, and look at him. He's now a Group 1.
Begg's dad bought him back. Bought him back after the people he sold it to.
Yeah, same connections. It's the same connections, isn't it?
No, he bought it back.
Yeah.
Big bought the horse off the Asian.
He did bought it back. And changed the name and the rest of it, and yeah, it's a good story. The horse has got an incredible turn of foot. Really does remind me of your old horse, with that electric, you know, turn of foot Private Steer. Just
from a stand start, they can go bang.
Yeah, and same cross. He's by Belong to Me. Belong to Me is by Danzig. Obviously yours, Private Steer by Dane Dan, so grandson of Danzig. So,
yeah.
But Lishy Nolan's a very valuable mare. I believe she's been purchased by Reval Farm and they're going to have a lot of fun with it. I think they've got a cracking in Costa to come east next year, so that's going to make untold money. So they've had a good win there. Yeah, look, I don't have a lot to say about the other horses in that race. Apart from Mimi LeBrock, I think that Mimi LeBrock is one of the most toughest and consistent mares going around. I can't sort of catch her in terms of when she wins, but I've got.
She doesn't win that often.
She doesn't, but she's very consistent.
I wouldn't say she's, you know,
she's always against the top grade.
Yeah.
She's always in Group 1 quality and facing. She's not dodging anything, and she was a top 2-year-old.
I couldn't knock her.
And I think she'll make a really nice broodmare too. She's show heart. She'll cross with anything. So
beautiful big filly too.
Yeah, really nice filly. So for me, it was the winner and Mimi LeBrock were the stories of the race. I think he'll go on in the autumn. I believe they'll target the Doncaster in the autumn for the horse.
Sure.
It seems a logical race. He'll probably get 53, 54 kilos, and he'll be very competitive for that weight. And I think in the spring he'll go on and become a 2,000 metre horse and Cox Plates, things like that.
Look, you've said it all, boys. What I want to say is it sounded like, I guess, there's a bit of a question mark around whether he would potentially get 2,000. I suppose you don't know until he tries, but mate, I'll put a house on that horse getting 2,000 metres. He's as strong to the line as anything you'll ever see over a mile. And as I think I said in one of our early shows when we were sort of really, I guess, behind him to win some of those races in Sydney, I still remember the time, I think it was at his second start, over 1,800 metres, which horses don't often do. He went straight past Muscat like the horse was nailed to the fence.
That in itself isn't much of an achievement based on Muscat.
Yeah, but it was only his second ever lifetime start.
Second ever lifetime start, and you know, Muscat was up and going and doing quite well. This bloke, you know, you know, if I'm looking at early picks for the Cox Plate next year, he's my early pick. He has to be. Absolutely sensational. Shown he can go the Melbourne way. He's got you know, plenty of upside left in him. Like Arvo said, only 11 starts. Fantastic horse. It'll be really good to watch him in the autumn and spring next year. Autumn, I agree with Suman. He'll go for the Doncaster. He has to. He can still go for his handicaps now, and he'll be targeted at the Cox Plate in the spring. And who's to say he won't win that race? Of the horses, sorry, mate.
No, go.
Of the horses behind. Look, I don't necessarily think they're all sort of B graders compared to him. Sea Bale's a good horse. He was very unlucky, got a long way back from that wide barrier and stormed home. I thought it was a good run from him. And
what I mean is they don't have the acceleration or quality this horse does, I don't believe.
No way for age horses.
No, look,
I wouldn't go back and Sea Bale in the Cox Plate.
No, but he can win a Group 1.
Yeah. Handicap Group 1, yeah.
And I think I agree wholeheartedly with Suman, Mimi LeBrock. She's just a super consistent mare, and she'll certainly go to start and breed something nice, I'd like to think. And the one I was disappointed with was Sniper's Bullet. I thought he put up a much better performance. I'm sure Tracy Bartley thought he would as well. I'm not sure if they now push on to the WA races that are part of that that series of races where there's the $1 million bonus, which he's no longer eligible for because he had to win yesterday's race. But look, I thought he was pretty disappointing. And I'm surprised because the talk was that the horse would go forward again like he did last start, particularly from that barrier, and then they jumped out of the barriers and went towards the tail of the field. So not sure what exactly happened.
Just one other thing on All Silence. Graham Begg, or the Begg family actually have been happy to travel horses overseas. Monopolised, that's right.
Well, he was nominated for Hong Kong.
I'd almost take All Silent, but they've probably got the autumn in mind, you know.
Yeah,
Is that Hong Kong Mile? It's a wonderful race for him.
Next year you can do that.
I agree.
He's still got bigger fish to fry over here, and then you can.
And you'd have to be nervous. Look, there could have been any number of reasons why that horse went over to Hong Kong and didn't even want a bar of being a racehorse, but. You know, maybe he doesn't like travelling. You know,
maybe he's just too immature. It's a very immature type breed. You know.
I don't know if you guys know much about Hong Kong. It's not exactly horses' heaven.
No, they don't have spelling codes.
They just live in a box.
He's gone there before and it nearly ruined him. So
it's like I wouldn't do it to my worst enemy, let alone worry about. You know, there's only a very small percentage of horses that can thrive over there.
Yeah. Can I say, I really do think that Beggs deserve a few big ticks here. You know, Graham Beggs never one to be, I guess, talked to alongside of some of, you know, the other supposed stars of the Sydney training ranks here. But look, you know,
he gets the job done, mate. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't get too many good horses. When he did get one, our Egyptian Rain, I think he ran second in 8 Group 1s or something like that with her. And
funny enough, a couple of times to All Silence half sister in Private Steer.
Private Steer, that's right. So he's got a good horse here, and he's shown that he knows how to win a Group 1 with it. And you know,
And Bonanova won this race for the family,
she
did.
Yeah, she was a great man. Loved her. And his dad, you know, Neville, a fantastic horseman. Picked this bloke as a yearling.
Trained Emancipation.
He did. He had some really good 2-year-olds too in his time. He was a great trainer. He trained alongside Tommy Smith and all the good ones, Bart Cummings and everyone else.
Great family.
Great family. They know what they're doing.
Good luck to them. That's it on the
Emirates.
Thanks, guys.